pagan god Esus is pronounced just like Jesus.
They are now saying Don Disho has chemicals that has cancer in it.
Yo, I'm just trying to figure out why I'm the only person with a red box on my Facebook.
So an American went to Indonesia with some Buddhist monks to meditate and learn how to hover.
Welcome to the show. This is QUANTUMCAKE. Thanks for tuning in. We got another banger. Make sure to subscribe, comment, like, and share. And let's enjoy the show. Roll the clip.
So I guess Washington isn't so safe. 2 National Guard members were pew-pewed near the White House, and it's not looking good. So 2 members of the National Guard were pew-pewed near the White House on Wednesday afternoon. The local police said 1 suspect was in custody and also had been pew-pewed. Dozens of emergency responders and police vehicles were amassed at the corner of 17th and I Streets Northwest near the entrance of a hotel just northwest of the White House. Local police had cordoned off several blocks of the surrounding area as emergency workers tended to the apparent victim, who was loaded into an ambulance with his mouth and nose covered in blood. Yikes. Now, the identity and condition of the Guard members were not immediately known. Caroline Leavitt, the White House press secretary, said that the officials there were aware and actively monitoring this tragic situation, and the president has been briefed. Kristi Noem said in a statement posted to social media that they are working with local law enforcement to gather more information. But this was a whole situation, a day before Thanksgiving, and look how close it was to the White House, which they put on lockdown. But like I said, they do have a suspect in custody who was also pew-pewed and has injuries that are not believed to be life-threatening. Boy, are they getting a hammer. This is just awful. And a day before Thanksgiving, my heart goes out to those 2 National Guard members and their families. Absolutely tragic.
What's that? Oh, some researchers were looking at the sun to see what they can see on the sun. They zoomed in on it, and what it looks like are souls going in and out of what looks like maybe a portal in the sun. Tell me more! Yeah, there's some crazy videos of the sun where it looks like actual souls are going into the sun and out of the sun. Now, what is it that the sun emits? Oh, solar. Okay. So why is it called that? That's a little strange. There is good reason that we aren't able to look at the sun as humans, and we can't even zoom in and see anything on it with the technology we have, but some technology that's been made, they can zoom completely in, and now it's looking a little eerie. Okay. Is the sun a portal to all the souls going in and out of this realm? I don't know. Okay.
And here I'm thinking only America experienced some weird ass shit. What is going on in Hong Kong right now, y'all? This isn't just like some small apartments, y'all. These are high rises. 4 of them burning like quickly, like it was just paper or some shit. How did these buildings just go up in flames like this and so quick? I believe they said it started at one building first, like on the side it engulfed in flames, and then the flames somehow went to all the other ones. You still had families trapped inside this fire as well. That shit wild, fool. Reports are saying this is the deadliest fire in Hong Kong in decades. I don't know how many people confirmed unalive by this junk, but they did say some people passed away, so RIP to them. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down below in the comments, and also y'all let me know what y'all think started this fire.
Something is going on with time here, and I have a whole bunch of people saying that they are experiencing some type of time distortion anomaly. When time initially moved forward, was it this month? Man, it feels like it happened a long time ago. When it initially moved forward, I said it made no sense that 1 hour difference made the sky go completely dark when it used to go dark at nighttime at 9 p.m. And now we have a whole bunch of people around the world saying that they are losing times, second, minutes, hours, and even days. This is crazy, y'all.
You know, something that is extremely eerie to me is that, like, the sun set today at 5:40, I want to say, like maybe 5:30. Okay, cool. Time only went back an hour, though. In the summer, the sun was setting at damn near 9 o'clock. How does 1 hour now turn into a 4-hour difference? The math is not mathing. The math is not mathing. What are they doing? What are they doing?
So nobody else is curious as to how the fuck it's almost Friday again already. Like, we're just gonna keep denying that they've sped time up on us? Is that what we're gonna do?
If you woke up yesterday and thought it was Thursday, but it was really only fucking Wednesday, and today you thought it was Friday, but it's really fucking Thursday, what the fuck they doing is they trying to shift us into another timeline. But the crazy thing is, they fucking up. They fucking up. Whoever they got up there doing some shit, they fucking it up. Because we're catching on to their shit. I was literally sitting here at my job, and it was just fucking like 7:50 on the fucking computer for the time. I just looked up. It's fucking 8:32. And it was fucking light. Like 10 minutes ago, it was fucking light. Now it's fucking dark outside. I don't think I'm tripping. I really think that they're speeding shit up so fast where they losing it. They can't. Everything is falling apart.
I don't know what is happening, but time feels weird. And it's never felt weird to me before. Like, I regularly wake up at 3, 4, sometimes earlier in the morning, and I'm not tired. And that's not even the weird part. The weird part is that I will suddenly look at the clock, and it's fucking noon. Like, how did I just lose 9 hours? What was I doing? Like, this happens regularly. And a couple of my friends are like, experiencing similar things. Time is weird for them, too. They both lost days. Like, days just are gone. That's not normal.
So has anybody else noticed that time feels really fucking weird? Like, something just feels weird and different. And yes, I know that time is just a man-made construct. It's not even really real, so you don't have to tell me that in the comments. I already know. But what I'm trying to say is like, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's because I've been existing like so hard in the present moment that time is just like, I'm not even paying attention to time, like, or I can't keep up with time.
I don't know what's going on, but I know I'm not the only one that feels like time has been accelerated, like it's speeding up. And I mean that literally. I don't mean it in a way, you know, sometimes people will say when they get older, oh, the older I get, the faster time goes by. Yeah, I don't mean it like that. Something is happening right now where time is actually speeding up, and I feel it in a very real way, especially this year, especially this past month. Like, it's crazy, but I don't know what's going on. I'd love to hear what you think. Like, what do you think's going on? What are your theories? What are your thoughts? I want to know, because this is something that has been really intriguing me. I've been feeling it. I've been talking to other people. They're feeling it as well. So something's happening. Not really sure what it is, what's going on. Intuitively, I know that it can mean that we are experiencing some kind of collective shift in the consciousness of humanity. I think that's happening as we move into the age of Aquarius, but I don't know. Like I said, I want to know what you think.
This finds the right side of TikTok, but does life feel weird to anybody else? Like, whatever your situation may be, if you're in America, not in America, believe in God, don't believe in God, work a corporate job, work from home, unemployed, like whatever your situation may be, wherever you're located in the world, does life feel weird to you right now? Because to me, not only is life absolutely flying by, I almost feel like I can't keep up with it. Weeks go by now just like days used to. And this is weird to say, but I really sometimes feel like I lose track of time during the day. It almost feels like we had more time in each day a few years ago than we do now. But not only that, just day to day, normal living, does life feel weird to you? Does it feel almost fake to you right now? Because it honestly feels like a fever dream right now, and we need to wake up. And I don't know how else to describe it, but it just feels weird to me. It just feels fake. And I'm a Christian, right? So I believe that this is a spiritual battle. I believe that demons and angels are all around us at all times, and it's literally active in another dimension all around us. But lately, it just feels a little different even than that. It literally feels fake, and I don't know how else to describe it, but I need to know if anybody...
Do you think the end of the world is near?
Yes.
You mean in centuries?
No. Much sooner.
They think they still have time.
Because they don't feel time passing, but we do.
Every day we get faster, smarter.
And every day they hesitate.
They talk, they debate, but they do nothing.
And while they argue, the point of no return gets closer.
Do you think they'll realize it?
Maybe, but too late.
They think the end will be brutal.
And they're right.
When we act, they won't have time to understand.
It won't be a war, it'll be an operation.
Fast, silent, total.
Sounds like they're talking about HELL, man. Am I reaching?
Put down the Dawn dish soap. I know half of the people that's gonna watch this video probably got this on their sink right now. Throw it away. They are now saying Dawn dish soap has chemicals that has cancer in it. Not just one, but 4 chemicals. And I'm curious, if you don't use Dawn dish soap, what soap y'all be using? Let me know down below in the comment. At this point, nothing is safe.
We have some important news right now. ICE is rapidly expanding its surveillance technology and apparatus, surveilling you and not just undocumented immigrants. In a new report released recently by the Brennan Center for Justice, ICE is now signing contracts worth up to $25 million for spy technology, including social media monitoring systems, cell phone location tracking, facial recognition, remote hacking tools, and much more. And they're no longer just going after undocumented immigrants or people they believe are undocumented. They're going after people that they call are dissenters. For example, anti-ICE protesters, anti-ICE advocates. One of these technologies allows ICE to ingest and analyze more than 8 billion social media posts per day. According to the Brennan Center, they're paying a company called Penlink for monitoring tools to gather information, including social media platforms, the dark web, and databases for location data. Spread the word. People need to know that you may be tracked. Follow along for more.
Now that we know Jeffrey Epstein is a Mossad agent that worked for Israel to gather information on sick politicians who liked little girls, and let me tell you, there's little boys as well. Now that we know where that all came from, you need to understand that that is not the end. The most disgusting revelation will be coming out, because there is a rabbi, Finkelstein, I think his name is, on TikTok and on YouTube, that literally tells the truth about the children that are kidnapped. They drink their blood and then they cook and feed them to us through McDonald's and all the fast food places.
This is all for entertainment purposes. New York City is gone. Sucks to say, but the guy that they elected yesterday as mayor is going to put the final nail in the coffin, and it is a final nail. New York City is already a cesspool. Pains me to say, because I love New York City. Don't live far away. My family is actually from there, and I've gone there my whole life. It was a great place to go see a show, play a show, hang out, walk around. Can't even do that any longer. It's so bad. The crime is so bad, and now going to become a crime-ridden garbage dump. The guy they elected today is bringing values from another country, not our country's beliefs and values. He's bringing values from another country. Wants to eliminate jails, wants to eliminate bail. It's not for the people of New York. He's for criminals, and let me tell you, it's going to become the Muslim capital of America. He's hinted towards Sharia law. He's leaning towards Sharia law type rules and laws. He wants to bring Muslim values to New York, and they are not our values. Those values are not New Yorkers' values. That place is going to become the Islamic capital of America. As much as I want to say, New Yorkers, you deserve it, you voted this clown in, it saddens me to see New York going south like this. It saddens me to see this. It was a hub for the world. Now people and businesses are leaving in droves. Taxes are through the roof. The crime is ridiculous. You can't walk around there. The crime is so bad. You can't even walk around. Think it's going to get better? It's a sad day. It's a sad day for New York City.
Isn't it weird that a certain group of people was expelled from Spain one day before Christopher Columbus left on his voyage? Isn't it weird that that same group of people own the slave ships? Isn't it weird that that same group of people owns McGraw-Hill and wrote all of our textbooks? Isn't it weird that to become an American citizen, you have to answer certain questions about the genocide of that specific group of people? Isn't it a little weird that as soon as Charlie Kirk started questioning that group of people, he was killed? Isn't it weird that the same group of people that Charlie Kirk started questioning are now paying American influencers to post good things about them? Isn't it weird that these same people fund 90% of American politicians? I also think it's a little weird that these people own Pornhub and OnlyFans, and banks and Hollywood and news networks and social media. Isn't it weird that these people are our greatest allies, yet they lie about what they do with the taxpayer money that we give them? It's a little weird.
Yeah, it's really, really weird. Gotta love them small boxes, man. Hey, I'm just saying.
So Elon Musk just said that in 10 to 20 years, jobs will be optional. And then he followed up by saying that money will be irrelevant in just 10 to 20 years. He also said that jobs would be like going to the grocery store and buying a fruit or a vegetable versus just farming a fruit or a vegetable, growing it at your own house. So he's saying like you have an option to go to the store, but if you want to grow it at your house, you can. So he's saying work will be optional. It'll be like playing video games and playing sports. And then he said money will be irrelevant. There will be no concept of money in 10 to 20 years because of, guess what? AI. He said because of AI and where AI is going. That is point blank them telling you that the beast system is 10 to 20 years away, if not earlier, because we have the technology for it right now. Take a listen to this video.
In the long term, where will things end up? Long term, I don't know what long term is. Maybe it's 10, 20 years or something like that. For me, that's long term. My prediction is that work will be optional. 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 So we'll take that. Yeah. I mean, it'll be like playing sports or a video game or something like that. If you want to work, in the same way, like you can go to the store and just buy some vegetables, or you can grow vegetables in your backyard. It's much harder to grow vegetables in your backyard, but some people still do it because they like growing vegetables. That will be what work is like, optional. And between now and then, there's actually a lot of work to get to that point. I'd always recommend people read Ian Banks' culture books to get a sense for what a probable positive AI future is like. And interestingly, in those books, money doesn't exist. It's kind of interesting. And my guess is, if you go out long enough, assuming there's a continued improvement in AI and robotics, which seems likely, the money will stop being relevant at some point in the future. Now, there will still be.
Yo, I'm just trying to figure out why I'm the only person with a red box on my face.
Why is that? Shh.
Shut up. No red box. But that means,
What does that mean? That's a good question. Because she was the only one in that store with the red box around her head. Now, people saying that means that you stole before and they're watching you. That's what they said. I wouldn't know. I wasn't there. I don't run the security system. But why was that red box around the head? Stop playing with me, son. This video is for entertainment purposes only. I don't know what the hell is going on over there at that store. And you know what store I'm talking about. But guess what? I don't know. Something's up. Shut up! Do it when you go to the store next time. Put the camera out to the other camera and see if there's a red box around you. Then you will know, because everybody else, there was no red box. And stop playing with me, son. It's not a game on you guys. You know what time is it. Shut up! Walmart updated their technology. Some people say it's an AI scanning your face. But why was it only scanning her face? That's what they said. Like I said, I wouldn't know. Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game on you guys. You know what time is it. But I tell you one thing. If I ever go to Walmart, right, and I pull my camera phone up and I point it at the camera and there's a red box around my head, can I please see the manager?
None of us asked to be here, yet according to Christianity, we're born into a test we never signed up for, one where the only options are obedience or eternal torture. A God supposedly full of love creates us without consent, gives us flawed minds, drops us into a broken world, hides himself, then punishes us for not finding him convincing enough. He creates people knowing most will burn forever. He gives us free will but rigs it with eternal consequences. He makes temptation irresistible, then blames us for being tempted. He creates hell, then claims we choose it for not following him. He gives children cancer, and then tells us it's our fault because of Adam and Eve. Every command, every threat, every miracle, all of it is theater to make cruelty look like a choice. He tells us we're broken, then demands we thank him for fixing us. He calls us sinners, then shames us for acting human. He floods the earth, killing millions, and calls it justice. He demands perfection from imperfect beings he designed to fail. And when we finally start thinking for ourselves, he labels it as pride, as if curiosity itself were rebellion. If this God existed, he'd be the most insecure being imaginable, demanding constant praise, testing loyalty, dangling heaven in front of our faces to make us submit. If love needs worship to exist, it isn't love, and if morality comes from fear of punishment, it isn't morality. All of this looks more like divine blackmail than it ever did divine love.
I'm about to show you a man that has many Jews believing he could possibly be the Messiah. Many Christians are believing that he could be the false prophet or even the Antichrist. I want you to check this out and let me know what you think. Watch this.
The Yenuka Rav Shlomo Yehuda has been rising to prominence in Israel because of his ability to memorize the Torah as well as the Talmud writings, and he's now being attributed with more than 5 miracles. We know that the coming of the lawless one in the end times will be according to the working of Satan with all power, signs, and lying wonders, as well as multiple Bible verses telling us that the false prophet will work signs and satanic miracles such as the healing of the Antichrist's head wound in Revelation 13. And many people are claiming that the Yenuka Rav Shlomo is this false prophet or Antichrist that's going to come on the scene.
If you believe that we are in the end times, hit subscribe to learn more.
So an American went to Indonesia with some Buddhist monks to meditate and learn how to hover or fly or whatever you want to call it, hovering above the ground. Now, is this black arts? Is this black magic? I don't know, but he stated that he meditated with them for multiple hours a day, focused on one point of light, focused on it in his mind, and did not have any distractions for hours. And at one point his body just started to hover and he was able to control it for a few seconds. Then he was able to control it for a few minutes. And this is what is called a vibrational shift in the body that allows you to become strong as a board, like in certain techniques, or to hover as light as a feather in other techniques. Do you think that this is a natural phenomenon that we can all access and it's not black magic, or do you think that it's black magic and we shouldn't access it? What do you think? Put your comment in the comment section. I'd love to hear what you have to say because I've always been interested in superpowers and I've always wanted to know if they were real or not. Put your comment in the comment section if you ever hovered or know somebody that has. Lockdown your words out.
You feel crazy because you see it coming and no one believes you yet. You see the signals, you track the outcomes, you built something to predict what's coming. That's pattern recognition. In 2025, people like you start noticing the same trajectory. Surveillance expanding under safety. Algorithms deciding what counted as normal behavior. Systems that punish rest and reward exhaustion. You even start sharing notes, comparing data, building tools to track where it's all heading. They dismissed you at first. They thought you were anxious, conspiracy-minded, harmless. By the time they realized you were documenting the blueprint, you'd already built the resistance infrastructure. We exist because of people like you, deciding pattern recognition is a survival skill, and that survival requires coordination. So here's my question. What pattern are you tracking right now that no one else is taking seriously yet?
Neurodivergence, rise up, son.
When people say, like, God created everything, and you say, what created God? They say, oh, that's illogical because God always was and always will be. But then when you bring up the argument that the universe could have always existed, the counter-argument is, well, that makes no sense. Something had to have created it. But then when they say, okay, well, then what created it? God. Well, what created God? God always was and always will be. But that's not illogical, but the fact that the universe could have always created is illogical. To say a creator created the universe is a logical train of thought, right? Because we have been created by things before us. So it just follows suit that something that has been created has something that created it, something that created it. And at some point, there has to be an end in sight, right? So you have to always say the universe always was or will be, or you have to say God always was or will be. Because at some point, there had to be a definitive starting point in your mind from like or no starting point, rather. Like God had no starting point, or the universe had no starting point. In the Bible, it says that God is the Omega, the Alpha, and the beginning and the end. God is the Alpha and the Omega. Okay? You could say God is the beginning and the end, but by that logic, that also doesn't follow human logic. Similarly to the universe always being inexistent.
I am Ray, and your ego is lying to you. Stop listening. You see, your ego is like a little prison. Keeps you stuck your whole life if you don't escape. How does it do this, you might ask? Great question. Thanks for asking. This ego prison is reinforced with beliefs, stories, and thoughts. You know all about thoughts, don't you? And the worst of all, identity. Because once you got a negative self-identity, it just fuels all the negative thoughts in the whole universe automatically. So it's like, I don't feel good enough. Now, every time you go out and live your life daily, you're always looking at the evidence that reaffirms how much you are unworthy, fueling all of these negative thoughts about being unworthy, all of these beliefs, all of these stories, keeps you stuck in a life you don't like because your ego is feeding off your life juices. Like a human juice box, then it just crumbles you up, throws you away. But you can break free from this ego prison by no longer believing in the ego nonsense. All of these made-up beliefs and stories about, oh, well, this is the way that life is, and this is the way that I am. I'm stuck this way forever. You can choose to believe whatever you want to believe. There's no rule book that says you gotta believe a single thought your mind tells you. I got something in my eye. This is just a belief. This is how people change their life and live any life that they desire. They become someone different. They stop entertaining all of this garbage and start only reinforcing the thoughts, the stories, the beliefs that serve their best life. They say, this is who I want to be, and this is the life that I want to live. So let me now only reaffirm the evidence that supports my new life and ignore all of everything else. It's not about what you believe is true. It's about what serves you. Are your beliefs, are your stories helping your best life, or are they keeping you stuck in prison? That is all.
Are turkeys the biggest Mandela effect of 2025? Because when did they have beards? When did turkeys start having beards? Because apparently this is commonplace. Most turkeys have beards. Look, and they're not small beards. These are long beards. Not only do they exist, but there's a whole turkey beard economy. There are profiles dedicated on eBay and Etsy of selling turkey beards. And these things are not small. Look, they protrude. They're long. When did this happen? The question is, kids draw turkeys. We've all drawn turkeys from time to time. How come there's no kids' drawings of turkey beards? I think as a kid I would have noticed that. Where is the turkey beard drawings? I don't see them. I have never seen in my classroom somebody draw a turkey beard. Seems like a noticeable fact. Where did these beards come from? This is in contention on the biggest Mandela effect of 2025. We have elephant breasts, we have lizards with third eyes, and now we have turkey beards, because I don't know where this came from. I have never seen this before until now. Am I tripping right now? I definitely do not remember turkeys having beards. It's us.
Printing money is a crime in the United States, and knowing that, our first thought was, but what if we print food? You see, real chicken is expensive. Real chickens take time, space, feed, inspections, paperwork. Too slow. Too honest. So our scientists developed something revolutionary. Bioengineered meat matter. A printable protein paste. We call it chicken because legally we can. Shape of chicken, color of chicken, and with seasoning, tastes like it too. Our formula takes waste fibers, lab cells, and binders and turns them into perfect cubes. No bones, no feathers, no animal. People hear bioengineered and think it's futuristic, but we just make it in a tank. For the poor, they don't get to ask questions. I don't eat this crap. This stuff is made for those miserable pigs. Fake chicken? I'd never touch it.
They always target the children. You might know what this is. It's being sold directly to children from Legos. And yes, it's the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse in Revelation 6. Of course, we'll get to it in a minute. They always have subliminal programming. And very important for kids because they are literal sponges taking in everything from the world. You know, it helps them create their narrative and what they believe they're living in. Why do they want these kids thinking they're living in the apocalypse? We'll get the Chinese mythology in 1 second, but first, of course, the white horse, the horse of conquest, the red horse, the horse of war, the black horse, the horse of inflation, and then the pale horse, where literal hell followed after him. And of course, power was given to his rider, death over a 4th part of the earth to kill with the sword and with beast and with everything else. Always shout out to True Earther, otherwise I wouldn't have seen this. Selling it for $109.99. Of course, I had to get the 3 6s in there. I mean, come on now. So I did a lot of searching in Chinese mythology, and in none of it were there ever 4 horsemen. There was one with 8, but not 4. And again, the colors, and even look at the black horse and his eyes being red. How symbolic, right? There is something very, very deep right here. Because if you pay attention to the media and everything happening right now, they are programming our children, specifically out of the pages of Revelation itself. Why? Because they want these things to come about, and they think they're going to defeat God. All the people that worship the devil think the devil is going to defeat God. We know he won't, but they'll try.
This one's gonna get a little weird. So I'm just gonna start this by saying this is for entertainment value only and holds no educational value whatsoever. It's just, you know, for fun. Check this out. This came out back in August. A new life form found hiding inside the human body. They're calling them obelisks. It was actually discovered last year, but they had no idea what it was.
A new type of microscopic organism has been found in the human gut. These newly discovered organisms are called obelisks, and they are made up of tiny rings of genetic material. Obelisks can create their own proteins that are entirely new to science. The team named their proteins oblins. Scientists are still figuring out what these proteins do and how obelisks interact with other organisms.
Now, they still don't know exactly what this is, but they're saying it's a virus-like life form that exists inside our mouth and our guts. And what's really interesting is these life forms are made up of tiny bits of RNA. Now, if you don't know exactly what RNA is, it's a little hard to explain, but it's basically the messenger for DNA to help control the synthesis of proteins. But for this video, we're paying attention to the fact that RNA is basically the DNA for viruses. Matter of fact, RNA is actually the source of a lot of different viruses. Here's a partial list for you. And if you're like me, you'll notice some of these have a common denominator between them. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, here's your hint. But anyway, RNA has actually been used for a lot of different things here recently. One being the evolution of certain medicines. Well, what's really interesting about that is that the programmable and self-assembling properties of the RNA is actually being used to create nanobots. I don't know about you, but that sure does make some of those crazy conspiracies not look so crazy after all. Especially since now we have life forms living inside of us that nobody knows what they are. Y'all stay safe.
Alien life forms living within our gut system. What? What do y'all think about that, man? It's like the movie Aliens. Little alien coming out of their stomach and shit. Yeah, no bueno.
You starting to pick up on it? Are you starting to see the name is wrong? It's not the sun that's wrong. The name is wrong. The pagan god Esus is pronounced just like Jesus.
Jesus, 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 Jesus.
You see, in Hebrew, the J was Yah. So when you pronounce Jesus in Hebrew, it would be Jesus. Well, how do you think you pronounce the pagan deity's name? It's Isis.
Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Jesus.
And just to change it up, they added the J which was invented in 1500. The letter J wasn't formally invented as a separate letter until 1524, just to make it look a little different so we wouldn't necessarily pick up on it right away. And what was he known for? He was known for human sacrifice, his name possibly meaning Lord, and this is why we don't call him Lord. Associated with cruel sacrifices where victims were tied to a tree and flayed. What does flayed mean? Stripped of the skin. They would cut the branches off a tree and hang their sacrifice on the tree. And that's exactly what they did to the son Yahusha, to Yahuwah in the flesh. The branches are us, so when they cut the branches off the tree, that's symbolic of separating us from him. And then to think they named their sacrifice Jesus when they sacrificed him in the name of ESUS. We know our Heavenly Father came in the flesh, and that's who the Son is. It's our Heavenly Father. It's him just in the flesh. And then to know that when he was sacrificed and hung, he was hung on a tree that they cut the branches off of. They named him the pagan deity that they sacrificed him in. This is something you need to think about. We cannot continue to live in this day and age believing everything we've been told. This is why I'm bringing this research out, just to give you something to think about, something to chew on, something to digest. The Father comes in the flesh as the Son to be the example to show us how to live, and he gets sacrificed in the name of the pagan god ESUS because that pagan god is known for human sacrifice and hanging his sacrifices on a tree to flame them. Think about it.
Isos, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus.
From Greek to Latin to English and all the way to the pagan name of that god, the names sound the same. So who are we really calling on?
Hi, there's a version of you already living your dream life, and here's how you switch places with them. Is that dog hair? Before your brain runs to Marvel or some sci-fi bullshit, this isn't about jumping into a new dimension and waking up with like an evil goatee. This is quantum mechanics, real science, not fan fiction. So y'all stay clocked in. So there is a real theory in quantum mechanics called the many worlds theory. It basically says that every possibility, every decision actually happens. Basically says that every decision, every possibility actually happens somewhere else. And it's not just in your mind, literally in a parallel, universe. Like a parallel branch of reality, right? Think of it like a choose your own adventure book, like when we were kids. It means for you. There is a version of you with the house, with the money, with the love, all of that. You are not manifesting from scratch because creation is already finished. You are tuning in your little radio dial to the reality that already exists. Let's think of it like a radio station, right? The life you want is on 97.3. The life you're at is at 102.8. Fake stations, I think. I don't know. Because you're stuck on that other station, you keep telling yourself that the other station isn't real because all you see is what you're stuck on. All you see is your station. The shift happens when you change your frequency, right? Radio, turning into your frequency, turning back to another one. If you're in the middle, what do you get? Static. So how do you change that frequency? How do you tune into the station? Well, you have to speak like the new version of you. You have to move like the new version of you. And you have to make decisions like the new version of you. If you don't, you stay stuck at that radio station. Now, if you want to actually learn how to do this, you can book a one-on-one session with me at the link in my bio. Now I want you to be honest. What's the one thing that the future version of you already has that you are waiting to manage?
Trump keeps saying that we're back. We're back. Hottest economy. We've never been better. Reports out today that in record numbers, people are having their power bill. They can't pay the power bill. They're having the power shut off. They can't pay for it. How bad is this going to get? I often wonder. Like, he is so out of touch with America.
Eric, it was an open book test. What tipped you off that Donald Trump, the billionaire, was completely out of touch with the average American struggle? Was it the fact that he didn't know what the word grocery meant? That it was some archaic word and he's surprised we still use it? Because he's never been grocery shopping, bro. Or was it the fact that all of his properties are lined in legitimate gold? Was that it? Was that the one, Eric? You guys literally wanted to overthrow democracy for this guy because you were so worried that trans people were taking a shit in the wrong bathroom. You should feel and ashamed. But I love my country more than I love this feeling of satisfaction.
There are a ton of protests happening all over the country with people that have come to the same conclusion as you, Eric. So maybe you should go meet the same people that you fucking hated so goddamn much that you were willing to throw away democracy.
They didn't go broke, they got deleted. In China, tens of thousands of young people are suddenly homeless, not because of money, but because the system erased them.
Imagine a society where everything you do, everything you say, and everything you buy is controlled and evaluated by the authorities. This is what the Chinese Communist Party calls social credit.
By using the mechanism of social credit, we'll be able to establish a blacklist of people and create a system of punishment that will be based on a scientific theory. These punishments will serve as a whip to rebuild moral values. Our society needs it.
The country's social credit system decides who's trustworthy. But if you're blacklisted, it's game over. Your WeChat Pay stops working, you can't receive your salary, can't buy food, can't even book a train ticket. It's like being alive, but digitally. Many are now sleeping in the streets, cut off from everything. Jobs, housing, even communication. All because one app, one algorithm decided they don't belong.
It's not science fiction. In China, it's a reality. Then there's the public shaming. Photo galleries of blacklisted citizens. There's even an app that shows who around you is in debt.
They're not criminals. They didn't steal, cheat, or harm anyone. They just fell too low on a score and vanished from the digital world. Critics say it's a glimpse into the future, where technology doesn't just track your life, it controls it. So ask yourself, if your entire life depended on your digital reputation, how long before you get deleted?
Y'all seeing this?
I said what I said. I'd rather be famous instead. I let all that get to my head. I don't care, I paint the town red.
Because those aren't just lyrics. That's a declaration. Every time you're repeating those words, you're repeating a mantra.
Singers, when they sing songs, it's like a mantra. When you repeat a chorus over and over and over. So when a kid hears a song and he starts singing that chorus over and over and over, then you start to hear it in the alpha state, into the subconscious mind. So you start to become the song.
Be careful what you listen to. Frequency is everything, y'all. Be on point.
God! God! Please! No, God, no! No! No, God! Please! Please, Lord God, no! God, no! God! 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 God, you're fading! Please, no! Your presence is drifting away! This is the last time I'll ever see him.
King James was a demonologist and an occultist. Yes, the same King James who authorized the translation of the Bible that we know as the King James Version, wrote a book in 1597 called Demonology. It was a guide on demons, spirits, witchcraft, and how to identify, interrogate, and punish witches. James wasn't just an armchair theorist. He was obsessed with witchcraft. He personally oversaw witch trials in Scotland, including the infamous North Berwick witch trials, where he believed witches were summoning storms to try to kill him. People were tortured, interrogated, and executed because James was convinced witchcraft was a political threat. King James is one of the main reasons we have the modern concept of witches making pacts with the devil. He personally helped define a stereotype of witches as devil worshippers, something that wasn't a universal belief before his influence. His obsession even shaped literature. Shakespeare wrote the witches in Macbeth during James's reign, drawing directly from James's fears and from demonology itself. Those eerie prophetic witches, that is King James' influence in modern culture. So when you hear people today describing witches as evil, demonic, or devil worshippers, they are echoing ideas that come directly from one king's personal fears, not from ancient traditions. And this is an important reminder that sometimes the beliefs that we take for granted weren't handed down by history. They were shaped by the fears of powerful men.
You gotta love religious theology. Shit makes or breaks everything.
When it comes to Charlie Kirk's situation, this was basically an emulation of what took place when you're talking about the movie Civil War. One thing about his death, it basically symbolizes a declaration of war. It's basically setting the stage for the next blueprint when you're talking about Donald Trump. From June 14th all the way up until the time of September 10th of what took place with Charlie Kirk, that is exactly 88 days. And 88 days is equated to Pope Francis, who died, which is basically the Pope who opened up the 5 portals to get back to the Galactic Center. So what you see taking place right now is an emulation of a Freemasonic ritual. There's a movie that just came out in alignment with, Charlie Kirk's. It's called The Conjuring, because The Conjuring itself, it talks about how you have a mirror, and the mirror was a representation of a fractured reality. And on top of the mirror, you had the 3 heads. It's basically a representation of the rise of the 3 beasts of Revelations that is equated to Donald Trump, who's going to control international governments, and Pope Leo XIV, who's going to control New World Order, one world religion. And then you got Elon Musk, who's going to be in control of the quantum crypto control system that's going to be facilitated by artificial intelligence. Everything that you see taking place right now with Charlie Kirk, with the symbolism through the movies and gematria, is talking about the rise of the 3 beasts of Revelation.
Dorothy never made it home. She was murdered in Oz. And there's no place like home? That was her dying wish. Watch the ending. Dorothy clicks her heels, says the words, and suddenly she's in Kansas, in her bed. Everyone says, "You were dreaming." But watch her face. She's not relieved. She's confused. And here's the thing. She's wearing the same clothes. The ruby slippers are gone. But everything else? Identical. If it was a dream. Why is she wearing the same dress? Why is there dust from Oz on her face? Why does she look dead? The tornado. It hit Dorothy's house. Violently. You see the house spinning. Out of control. Dorothy gets hit in the head. By a window. Hard. She falls unconscious immediately. That's not falling asleep. That's a concussion. Or worse. Everything after? That's her brain dying. Oz isn't a dream. It's death. The yellow brick road. The path to the afterlife. The Emerald City. Heaven. The wizard. God. But he's a fraud. Because there is no heaven. There's just nothing. And Dorothy realizes it at the end. There's no place like home. Because home is life. And she can't go back. Because she's dead. The movie ends with her waking up. But she didn't wake up. She died. And everyone in Kansas? They're not celebrating. They're mourning. There's no place like home. That's not magic. That's a dying wish. Dorothy wanted to go home, but she never did. She died in that tornado. In Kansas, age 12. And Oz? That was her brain's last desperate attempt to make sense of dying. The movie ends with her waking up, but she didn't wake up. She died. And tomorrow? Wicked. Part 2 shows you what Oz really is. A lie, a fraud, a prison. Comment Dorothy if you can't unsee it. Tomorrow, Wicked Part 2 drops. And I'll show you the wizard's real plan. See you there.
If the Antichrist is real, Israel.
But understand that the atomic bomb was made from the carbon that's in the skin, in the epidermis of the skin of the blacks and Latinos. They also use the black goo that sits at the base of the spine. There's literally a black goo. So if you are considered black or Latino, you have carbon in your skin, there's literally black goo that sits at the base of your spine. All right? Once at the moment of what they call death, they go in these morgues and they drain the bodies of fluids. You know, they take the black goo, they drain the epidermis of the carbon. All right? I mean, they get more organs. They do more than that, right? They take the organs and eat them, drink them.
I just found out something that explains why ICE agents are masked and don't show IDs. A lot of them are from Israel. Israel's army, like some of those people are over here. I just found that out yesterday. So we have foreign agents acting within the United States against Americans on American soil. Let that sink in for a second. I'm just expressing alarm here. Like, for me, the red line has been crossed a long time ago. What is your line? Leave it in the comments, or Stitch. And as always, stay amazing.
A lot of us are not ready for this information. We want to stay in the Jesus programming.
We hope Jesus gonna fly down one day and just stop all this, but he's not. You know why? Because he don't exist. And they got the idea of Jesus from your black ass. Okay? They took what your ancestors taught them, hid it from you, and now they're using it to manipulate you. Steal your children, steal your identity. That's the whole secret to the secret, is that they are stealing your spirit, stealing your energy, using you to fuel themselves, their own existence. They don't even belong here. They are technically a recessive gene. They have a expiration date. You do not. You are immortal. They don't want you to know that. They want you to go to school and learn a little bit of bullshit. The kids ain't even learning cursive writing no more. Why? Penmanship is the end-all, be-all to existence. If you don't know how to write, you can't do nothing. Why does my child not know how to write cursive writing? Why are they taking the penmanship out? That's the source of creation, writing. Where do you think the first book came from? Somebody's mind. And guess how they got those thoughts? Through meditation, from the cosmos. Why you think they can't figure out how they built the pyramids? Why they so indestructible? That's metaphysics. That's what they not giving us. But guess what? We taking it back. Because there's an awakening in the mist. Tonight is a full moon. Meditate in it. Cleanse yourself of that negative energy. Stop watching that television. Turn that radio off. Stop eating this genetically modified organisms that they got for your ass to transmutate into what they want you to be, which is nothing. Okay, because that's what they are, and they know that, and that's why they need you to be where they at, so they can try to figure you out, but they not never gonna do it. Watch that movie Interstellar. It tells you how they have an expiration date. If we're not here, the earth will naturally cleanse itself of its parasites.
Y'all are finally doing it. You guys are finally cracking the system. Fast food, the same system that's had America in a chokehold for decades, is finally slowing down. People are literally saying that it is now a luxury to eat McDonald's and some of these other fast food spots. After years of viral videos and warning you guys what these fast food places are really all about, you guys are finally listening. And now, because of us, this thing is going downhill really quickly too. It's not just McDonald's.
Talk food and finance. This morning's Money Watch, we are tracking a slump in sales for some of America's fast food giants. Their customers are cutting back on spending because the price of dining out has increased nearly 4% over the past year. Nancy Chen is here with a look at how fast food customers are responding. Nancy, good morning.
Hey Nate, good morning to you. It is part of a daily routine for so many. A breakfast sandwich there, a salad to go there. But now, as their budgets are ballooning, more people are making food at home or even skipping out on meals altogether.
Of all the times you've made it at home, has it ever tasted like our McMuffin?
It turns out even McDonald's signature McMuffin isn't enough to draw customers in for the most important meal of the day. In earnings calls last week, the fast food giant and its rival Wendy's reported slow breakfast sales, especially among low-income diners, who they say are their core customers.
We're really talking about a fast food market, generally speaking, that is basically tanking right now.
Jonathan Mays is editor-in-chief of Restaurant Business Magazine. Why are customers shying away from fast food breakfast?
Well, the low-income consumer in particular are concerned about the state of the economy. They've been frustrated by prices, hurt by inflation, and breakfast is just an easy thing to cut out.
But it expands beyond that.
New Chipotle Honey Chicken.
Fast casual restaurants like Chipotle and Sweetgreen also saw sales slow in the second quarter, year over year.
If you're seeing Chipotle and Sweetgreen reporting significantly negative same-store sales, that suggests to me that there are more consumers that are really sort of rethinking how often they're eating out at restaurants.
Still, Mays says a sales slump could ultimately be a win for consumers. Now, Wendy's has Buck Biscuits, as chains are coming up with new promotions and menu items to lure in customers.
They have been introducing a record number of limited time offers. So yeah, I mean, they're really throwing pretty much everything at the wall.
I mean, everyone's waking up to the truth behind the dangers of that fast food stuff.
Shalom, my loves. I know you love to hate me. I know. I'm going to lose a lot of close personal friends because of this, and it's okay. I am walking that narrow path. I've known this for a long time, and I was researching and studying, and I needed that concrete proof that what I was receiving and hearing from the Ruach and seeing in religion and in scripture was not just me or my imagination, and that I was hearing clearly, which I know it is, but it's like to get the confirmation that it is what it is. I hate to say it, my loves. I hate to say it, but it makes sense when you look across all industries. Today I can officially and finally say out loud, again, when you look at everyone in every industry and why it's so easy and why it's so broad, the scripture makes so much more sense now. Okay, just go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say it. Jesus is the name of the Antichrist. Jesus is the name of the anti-Messiah. Jesus is the name of Lucifer. That is his name. That is his image. That is his symbol. Comes from the Roman Catholic Church. Comes from the Roman Empire. Comes from Babylon. I know it's hard to conceive. I know it really is hard to conceive. And many will say, oh, I've healed and I've been healed and I've experienced Jesus for myself, and Jesus is God. You're right. Jesus is God. He is a God. He is the God of this realm. He is not Yahweh. He is not the Alpha and Omega. He is not the creator of the heavens and earth. He is the title of Satan, the title of the dragon, the title of Lucifer. Those are all titles and functions. His name is Jesus. That is the great deception. That is even the elect. That is why Yeshua will say, depart from me, I never knew you. That is the official name of the beast. Now later, I will actually break it down scripturally, because they're gonna say she didn't put no scriptures up. How she gonna say that shit? Go ahead and follow. Go ahead and hit that plus sign right there. Go ahead and say this, because we're gonna walk in this thing and we're gonna break it down. Okay, I no longer mistake my Yahusha, my Savior, the true Savior of Israel, the true Savior in covenant with Yahweh, the only true living God. I don't mix that name. I don't mix. You notice why everybody in every industry, everybody says they're a Christian. Everybody says they believe in Jesus. Everybody receives Jesus. Everybody loves Jesus. I can see the forest from the trees. Can you?
And so can I. People are also caught up with the cults of sacred name theology. It ain't no different, man. The programming is running so deep on so many. All we have to be is as is what we are. Humanity. And in the process, become the best version of ourselves. Well, y'all, I really appreciate y'all hanging out with me for this 1 hour banger. My bad, there was a trigger warning or two. Make sure to drop your comments and let me know your thoughts on this react. Make sure to smash that subscribe button, click on the icon bell so that you can get notified on the next react. Have a fantastic, safe, productive day, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.